Welcome back for another episode of The Beat. Today we're very lucky to be joined by one of the UK's most prominent acts of the last couple of years, Paige Tomlinson. How are you?
I'm good. Hey guys.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
It's good to have you here. What's been happening?
Yeah, so I've been on tour the last few weeks. Started in Singapore, then Melbourne, then just played Adelaide weekend just gone, which was sick. All of them have been good, to be fair, but yeah, Adelaide has just topped it for being the best so far.
Energy.
So yeah,
They're a bit rowdy in Adelaide.
yeah, that's what I like. I'd like completely buzz off the crowd. So if it's a flat crowd, I feel like I really struggle when I'm playing. But the crowd there were just wild. Like there was actually a mosh pit that started
really?
in front of me.
You got them going good.
I was like, I've never seen this before. And I said, yeah, I was buzzing off it.
How was Singapore?
Boss, it's like such a crazy country. Like it's so clean over there. So we felt like we'd like stepped into like a world in like 50 years. Everything was like just so in the future. It just felt like I was in a movie. But to play, I played on Sailor V. The very
It was up the
rooftop.
top, hey? Yeah, that
up
looked
the top.
pretty special.
Oh, it was unbelievable. Like the views from the top of there when I was playing, it was just that was like a
Breathtaking,
dream.
hey?
Yeah, it was boss.
What club was that?
Sailor V, it was called, on the rooftop of, what's the big building called?
With the infinity pool?
Yeah.
Where
that, but is it a boat?
Is it Mona something? I know is it the really cool infinity?
Yeah, I forgot what it's called now, but
It's
yeah.
the cool one.
Yeah.
The cool one, the famous one.
Did you do a bit of sightseeing in Singapore?
Yeah, we went to see, there's like a few like light shows. Do you know what, I can't even use the correct terminology. I don't know what any of the places are called, but we were just on TikTok like sightseeing in Singapore and it just like took us on a
It's a bit
tour of
tourist
things.
style.
Yeah, there's like light shows, like these big like light up flowers, and yeah, the food was really good as well, obviously.
Yeah, food would be banging. Was that your first time in Singapore?
Yeah, first time. So we done like 4 days there. It was roasting, and it was really quiet, to be fair. But I think because it was like during their like hot season, people don't really come because it was so hot. So it was literally like nearly enough 40 degrees walking around.
Fuck.
Yeah,
it's not ideal.
completely different to here now. 'Cause it's
Yeah,
freezing now,
Yeah,
which I'm
you've
gutted
brought the weather
about.
with you.
We literally have.
Yeah. And it's
So-
go on.
You got to the wildlife sanctuary as well out here.
Yeah, so as soon as we got to Australia, my best mate lives in Melbourne. I was like, we need to see kangaroos, koalas, like all the Australian animals. So she was like, right, let's go to a sanctuary, which was like 20 minutes away. So got to see all them, feed the kangaroos.
Whereabouts is this in?
This was in Melbourne, the Moonlight Sanctuary.
Right.
So I was like, before I went, scared the kangaroos just because I'd
Really?
seen like all videos.
That box your head off.
Yeah, like strangling dogs and stuff in lakes. I was like, they're going to fight me or something. They were actually cute. Yeah, I liked them.
Didn't get to hold a koala?
Wow.
Koala?
Yeah, not a koala.
Koala.
No, but you know what? In that one, you could only like go in and like pet them. But I did really want to hold one.
They've got chlamydia. Did you know that?
They've
Yeah,
got
really?
chlamydia.
Yeah,
You can get it, yeah.
I think isn't it something like they all die from chlamydia? We need
Not
to
all
find-
of them.
really?
Not
a
all of
large
them.
percentage of them die of chlamydia.
That's morbid.
I'm
do, yeah.
certain of that. The chlamydia thing. I don't know how many, but there's a lot of them have chlamydia.
Is that from them
What?
having sex?
Yeah, I think
the
so.
same disease that humans get, chlamydia.
They're
Yeah.
all wild then.
Maybe he's lucky you didn't hug them then.
Yeah.
They're just living.
Yeah.
So how's Australia been? Have you been enjoying it?
Yeah, boss. I feel like we've just been like little tourists doing all the sightseeing things. So just got to Sydney today. So I've not really had a chance to like explore. Yeah, we had a little walk up and down Bondi before. Seen the iceberg pool that we're like dying to get in, but it's been freezing today. So we're just like praying the sun comes out for one of the days so we
Even-
can jump in.
Even with the sun coming out, it's still going to be cold. We went for a swim, was it yesterday, and the weather was nice and it's fucking freezing.
Disagree. I reckon the water was so nice yesterday.
No.
Yeah.
No. You're a
Depends
bit
how
more
you
of
look at
a
it.
you're a bit more of a water person than me, but yeah. So what's the plans for
So what is
Sydney?
that?
Obviously want to go into the sea because some of our mates live over here as well, moved over, and they literally said you need to get in the sea because it completely changes your life. He was like,
Definitely.
it's not like any other sea, and I was like, are you taking the piss? It's just the same. He was like, no, honestly, like you need to get in the sea here. It's just like completely different. And you've all got straight faces now, which tells me that's probably true.
Yeah.
The water is pretty.
Fair enough.
That's
So,
why
yeah.
we were saying Sydney's better than Melbourne.
Yeah.
We've got the
Ooh,
beaches.
controversial.
I mean, yeah.
Come at me.
We'll see. We'll see.
I think we were like we were talking in the car just before, like this whole culture of the run club and everything. That's because like it is so good that you're able to get up early, go for like exercise, jump in the water, and just like the way you start your day with that is just like unmatched.
Yeah, like we want to go for the sunrise and do like a little sunrise dip.
100%.
Go to maybe like a Pilates class, go on a run.
Yeah.
I'll have to come to Run Club on Friday.
Yeah, I'll be joining you like that. I can only run for like 30 seconds.
That's
Then I'll have to stop.
me and you both.
So yeah, we want to live the Sydney dream and do it all while we're here. So yeah, I need recommendations. To be fair, I'm just going off TikTok and things that I've seen. So you'd have to give me some.
Yeah,
there's heaps to do.
We can hit you up with a nice list. So growing up in Liverpool, what was that like? Quite the opposite to Sydney.
Yeah, completely the opposite. So to be fair, I was born in Liverpool, but I live just outside now. When I was like 7, we moved just outside Liverpool. Even though Liverpool's still my closest town, but probably Scousers will be able to hear my accent like changed.
There's different twangs, is there?
Yeah, there's little twangs in there. I'm like called a wall now.
A what?
A wall.
A wall, like WALL.
WOOL. Have you ever heard of
wall.
that?
A wall.
No.
Yeah. Like Scousers, if you're not from Liverpool.
Like a fake scouser.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, from Western Sydney.
Yeah, like you called a wall, so I'm a wall.
Oh,
What an insult.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was never really into like music when I was like younger, and then 17, 18 when I started going out, that was when like everything completely changed really and got introduced to all different music. And I was really into disco at the start. Loved disco.
So was I when I first started.
Was you? Yeah.
More like that new disco, like purple disco machine and stuff. Loved it.
Yeah, same. I completely loved it. But then once you've heard like the same song remixed like a billion times, it just sort of like...
There's so many edits with disco.
Yeah, so it sort of, I think that's when like I sort of moved on from that, and then I was into really like minimal tech, and that's where I started DJing really. I was kind of like DJing like more minimal stuff or disco stuff, played in a few like little local disco bars in Liverpool, but then my minimal stuff was more for like events, playing with like cooler DJs. And then yeah, career sort of progressed, and then I applied for Darius Sarosian's competition for Moxie Music, and I won that, and he kept me on for a few of his gigs, and that sort of grew my profile a bit in like Liverpool, Manchester. So I played in Manchester for a few times. And then from there, I think I had my first London gig. This was all in like the space of like 2-3 years. And then I applied for the Defected competition, which was about 2 years ago now. It was just a DJ competition.
Huge moment for you.
Yeah, like there was thousands of people that applied for that competition. And when I applied, I didn't even have it in my head that I'd even come close. And I was one of the 10 winners that won. And they I think it was me and Rio, they kept on, and they've like just like kept on booking us for gigs.
Is he
and
at A&R
stuff.
now? That Rio?
Yeah,
Oh,
he
wow.
works for the A&R there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't have got to where I am today without the competition, so I'm really like lucky for that. But yeah, life's completely changed. I was able to like give up my full-time day job, and now just like a full-time DJ.
Living the
Traveling the
dream.
world, yeah, living
Coming
the
to
dream.
Australia.
Exactly, the best.
What were you doing for work before that all took off, probably with music?
So I was actually an engineer for OpenReach, if you've heard of them. They're like a fibre optics company.
Right.
Who fit cables to houses. So
Is that for like the internet and stuff?
yeah, for the
wow.
internet. So
Telco.
I'd have to like climb up the big telegraph pole
Could
with
you
a
go?
wooden wire and like like connect it to the house. Yeah, loved it at first, but then when it was winter, I was just like, I can't
yeah,
do this
imagine.
anymore.
Snowing
Fuck,
and all
that'd
that.
be, especially in England, it'd be
Yeah.
fucking freezing.
Yeah, honest to God, it was like in the winter, snow, and I got to a point and I was just like, no, this just isn't for me. And it come at the right time really, because I was sort of getting really busy with me DJing and stuff, and I was just like, I think this would be the perfect moment to just like give it a go and sort of put everything into me DJing and producing and just see how it goes. And yeah, it's worked out for the best. I mean, I'm not an engineer anymore.
How did you get into engineering?
I was sort of like job hopping, to be fair. I was never really happy with any job I had. The first job I had, I was a waitress, and then I was a lifeguard and swim teacher.
Lifeguard.
Yeah.
That'd be even worse than the cold.
To be fair, it was in a swimming bath, so I was toasty in there.
We'll get you down at Bondi Beach after.
Yeah. And then Laura actually bought a house, and we were doing the house up in lockdown, and I realised like I love being hands-on with doing stuff, and I thought, well, why don't I try get into like a hands-on job to keep me like interested? So then, I don't know, I just knew someone on Instagram that was working doing this engineer job, and I just applied and loved it for the first year when it was like new and I was learning. But then it's like anything, when you get used to things, I was like, this is awful in the cold, freezing every
yeah,
day.
it'd be
like
tough.
Yeah,
climbing up onto.
Yeah, it was like really hard as well. Like I've literally got no muscle on me, so to be like putting ladders off and dragging heavy
shoulders
things,
would be getting sore.
Oh yeah, it was like such a hard job. But yeah, I'm lucky to have left it and be doing this now.
So who were the early influences for you music-wise once you'd out of your disco phase and you're playing more housey stuff? Was it artists like Darius and that kind of Moxie sound originally?
Yeah, so Darius, when I first started, it was always Darius. Also Lauren Lou Sung, she was like...
She's from Liverpool as well.
Yeah, she's from Liverpool. And at the time when I got into DJing, she was like the only female DJ at the time in Liverpool, and she kind of like inspired me to start DJing myself, because I just thought, why is there no other females doing this in the industry? I only really knew of her or a few other big names. There was no other like up and coming DJs that I see, female DJs that I seen, so that was who massively inspired me. So I'd say probably early days, like my sound was very much influenced from her, from going to see her in Liverpool. But then Darius, people like Archie Hamilton, Enzo.
Absolute dons.
Yeah, all of them that I grew up listening to and going to Fuse and all them events have like massively influenced me. But I think then I've sort of got into a more like housey 90s sort of style at the minute, where I'm loving people like Job Jobs. Don't even know if
well aware.
Is it Yob?
Well, you say Yob Yobsy, but
it might
maybe
be Job
Yeah.
You could be onto something.
Job Yobsy, but Jobs.
Yeah. He does the job.
Yeah.
Either way,
his quality.
Yeah, he's sick. But yeah, I'm loving all that sound now, like the more like high energy 90s sort of stuff.
Rich synths and stuff.
Yeah, organs, piano breaks, love all that.
Can't beat them on organ.
Yeah, the best.
How did you find your way into the 90s sound?
I think I just found that every time I'd listen to a more like old school 90s track, it would just like fill me with life when I was listening to it. Like when it'd have like the big piano breaks or like the organs or chords, it would just give me energy to listen to.
So euphoric energy.
So euphoric, and that's like when I play, I want people in the crowd to just feel euphoric and happy, and just like they want to hug their mates and be like, this is the best. And when I'm on the dance floor, that's exactly how I want to feel. So I think that's how I sort of got into that type of music. And I love playing tracks that like nobody else plays. I hate just like following trends or the crowd, or playing tracks that everybody plays. I just find it so boring. Like when I used to go out when I was younger, I used to go out to like be introduced to tracks that I'd never heard before, and that's obviously why I want to play tracks that nobody's heard, to be like on Shazam trying to find them. So like I love flicking through Discogs, going back to the 90s and finding records, the little gems that nobody has got. And then I just feel like it's like a bit of a trend at the minute. I feel like it's getting more and more popular with people like Gaskin, LP
That's what I was going to
Rhythm.
say. Like how we mentioned in the car, I feel like yourself, LP and Gaskin are really pushing that 90s sound, and now it's so popular.
Yeah.
Luke as well.
Yeah, it's getting really popular, which I'm loving. But as well, all the tracks that like I want to keep for myself, and then other people are playing them, I'm like, damn, everyone's onto it now.
Yeah, I think we had Cassette, one of our friends who's an artist in Sydney, on. We were talking about, well, she made a good point about post-COVID, everyone becoming more into the 90s sound because it makes music that makes you want to dance.
Yeah.
And it's like we were saying, it's very euphoric. I never really thought about it like that, but I suppose like everyone was locked up for so long, and then when you come out of it back now, everyone just wants to get out and have fun and dance.
Yeah, everyone just wants to feel happy, don't they? Not like...
You can't be sad listening to some nice 90s music on the dance floor.
No, I'd be worried if you was feeling sad listening to it.
Yeah, send help.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like the scene as well is moving into like TikTok tunes. Like I feel like a lot of the ravers at the minute, they just want that like 10-second breakdown where they're just like, especially in the UK, I don't know what it's like here, but
no, definitely
in the UK here. It's just like the crowds is different coming out of COVID. It's 100%. All like a younger generation, and they're just waiting for that like 10-second drop to go wild.
Shorter attention span as well.
Get all the phones out.
That's exactly what it is. And I think it's like the TikTok era of just watching like 30-second videos, and they just want that quick hit, and then they're just bored.
Span. Well, you were actually mentioning about TikTok, because obviously it's a valuable platform to post and stuff and make content on. The average watch time was at 9 seconds.
Instagram now as well.
Instagram,
9 seconds.
9 seconds. So
wow.
yeah, unless it's a super engaging video, get out in the 9 seconds. Yeah.
Which is hard for house too, because obviously it's more about the groove, and like it's not about like a big
drop,
like a techno build up with like a big snare. Like it's more about the coming back into the groove. So it's hard. You're kind of going to lose people if you're posting videos like that.
Yeah, like sometimes you just know sometimes when you're playing exactly what type of crowd you're playing to. Like, is it a TikTok crowd or are these like a little bit more educated in music? So like sometimes I'll find a tune and I'll love it, and I'll be like, right, this is going to go off, but I'm playing to like a TikTok crowd, and I'm like, okay, it's not got a big drop for them. Shit, try and find something else. Hopefully it changes.
I'll give it to our crowd. I think they're pretty well educated. I think there's been a few artists that have done really, really well with the crowd, got them grooving. I think they're going to really enjoy your set as well on Saturday.
Yeah.
Good.
I think the housey ones are definitely the ones at our party that stand out the most. Like playing the headliner slot.
Are you across Caleb Jackson?
Sorry?
Are you across Caleb Jackson?
Yeah, love him.
So he's an Aussie artist, and we had him at Switch, and he was probably, I'd say, him and Luke were probably the two best, and obviously very housey sets. And
Resso.
Resso was fucking unreal.
I love Sam Alfred as well. He's an Aussie artist. Is he Aussie?
Yeah.
He's from Melbourne.
Oh, boss.
He is. Yeah. So there's him and another like techno hard house artist out of Melbourne, Storm. They're both like 21, 22, and they are absolutely mega. Like, they're selling out like 2,000 cap venues and stuff. Yeah, they're mega.
I love that sort of like hard house Aussie sound. I feel like that's why I was like so excited to play, because I love playing a little bit faster and a little bit more energetic. And sometimes in the UK, when I'm on certain lineups with like XYZ other DJs, it's sort of hard for me to like.
Especially if you've got to warm it up, like if you're on before them and stuff.
So yeah, I'm excited to be like headlining
Saturday night. You've got free reign to.
Oh yeah.
We're very much looking forward to it. So when was the shift you felt from your more minimal and disco to going to that 90s sort of sound? Was there a moment you were like, this is like the disco and minimal isn't doing it for me, or?
Do you know what? I don't know what the exact switch was, but I think maybe a lot. It all happened like pre-COVID, and then during COVID it must have been, because I sort of did like both of them before COVID, because I remember I was doing it was like a live stream, COVID live stream for like
classic
for this like disco brand, and that was during COVID. So I feel like I was still into disco then, so it must have it was in COVID I think, and I just sort of like grew out of it, and sort of the doors opened to this whole 90s era sound, and I just like fell completely in love, and I think that was it for me.
So it's a bit of a reset for you, COVID, in terms of like what direction you wanted to go as an artist.
Yeah, and then obviously after COVID I won the Defected competition, and I think I just had more of like tunnel vision of what I wanted to do with my DJ career, but where pre-COVID I was sort of, didn't really know. I knew I wanted to be a DJ, didn't really know what genre. I was sort of going with what I felt happy playing in. And it just sort of disco, minimal, just got boring for me when I was playing. I just found myself like just feeling bored, or I wasn't like liberated when I was playing. And when I was playing all the 90s stuff in lockdown and stuff, I just felt like alive. Yeah, as cringy as that sounds. Alive.
Should sample that.
But yeah, that's what it was really.
So the Defected competition, what was the inspiration for going into that?
I think it's obviously a huge platform. I just thought, obviously I might not win, I might win, it might open some doors, people might recognise, like people might see my name and I might get somewhere, but yeah, it was just like a huge platform. And I always used to go to the Defected Glitterbox in Ibiza, Amsterdam. We used to literally follow Glitterbox literally round Europe sometimes because we loved it so much. Like we loved disco. So yeah, when I seen the competition, I was like, yeah, great, I'm just gonna do it. Probably won't win, and then yeah, I won from it, and it was crazy because all my mates were just like, I can't believe I actually won, and we literally used to go to these events like
bit
like
of a pinch me moment.
Back. Yeah, crazy. But yeah, I've been able to like travel the world with them. Really played in some like crazy places like Croatia, Malta.
I have to do the Australian one next because Defected and Glitterbox are both out here every year.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, Defected's selling out. I think it's sold out every year. It's been out here for the last few years now. Glitterbox does really big numbers as well.
Oh,
so maybe
sick.
Defected Australia next time.
Yeah, well, to be fair, the last like I sort of got to a point. I love Defected, but I've got to a point where
it's a different sound.
Yeah, it's a bit of a different sound for me. So I loved playing, but I always found I was changing what I was playing when I did, and I always come off and feel like, oh, that wasn't 100% me. So I've kind of got to a point, and we've like chatted with them and said that maybe it's better for me if I sort of move away from them and just play more the clubs and the events that I want to play, that I feel like that fits my sound. So. But yeah, I wouldn't have got to where I was without them, wouldn't have changed a thing. But I just feel like for me and my sound, like going a different direction is the right thing to do.
Got to stay true to yourself.
Yeah.
What was the process like for winning that, like the whole competition? How many rounds was it, and what did you have to do to end up being the winner?
I think it was like 3 rounds. So the first one, you just had to send in a live stream. No, you have to send in a mix for them to listen to. Then you'd get an email, you're through to like the next round, and the next one you had to record a live stream, send that off. So I remember that was like so stressful because I think that was like coming out of lockdown, and I was trying to find like a videographer to film me, and like I wanted to film in a club as well, didn't just want to film in like my bedroom or somewhere that just looked shit. So trying to find a club that had let me just come in for a day and record.
Which was the club?
It's closed down.
I was going to shut them out.
It's closed down. Do you know what? That club was only open for a few years, and then after COVID, it like shut down.
Like a lot of places,
yeah.
It's
unfortunately.
Could have had you back there.
I know.
Special set.
I know. And then, yeah, it was sort of like the videographer couldn't get it over, and I nearly missed the deadline for it. The deadline was, I don't know, like, let's say the Wednesday, and he didn't send me the video back till the Thursday, and I was like in tears, crying, thinking like I'm going to have missed this competition, but luckily they let me put it forward and it was fine. And then the final round was we then had to go into the Defected studio and do like a live performance for everyone to watch, so that was stress.
That's a cool studio, that. Yeah.
So cool, and like at the time I'd never done anything like that before, and like it was all like sort of in my dreams and stuff. So to go down to the studio, meet everyone, and then play in front of them
would have been pretty intimidating.
It was so intimidating.
At London?
Yeah, I was like sweating. Like
you feel like big imposter syndrome. I feel like you would have that.
I still get that now. Like when like people come up to me and they're like, "Can I get a picture with you?" Like Singapore, listen to this. Singapore was crazy. I had people waiting outside the hotel.
Oh, really?
Wow.
For my autograph.
Superstar.
For your autograph?
For my autograph and picture. And
That's
I've
insane.
never had that before.
That's
crazy.
Proper celebrity.
I mean, who actually wants my autograph? I've not even got one. I was just like making a squiggle up.
You don't want to see my yeah, mine's terrible, my signature.
Yeah, I still like get like, why the hell do you want a picture with me? I'm just Paige. But no, I do. I appreciate it. It's special. It's crazy.
And what was it like finding out that you were one of the winners?
So we were in Paris at the time. We just went over there for a holiday, I think. So we, it was like they'd done this big thing on Instagram. They played everyone's live streams, and then they were then posting on Instagram the winner. And we got like a bottle of wine and went and sat on this like gorgeous hill and made ourselves like a little cheese board and watched like all the live streams from everyone. And then we were like scrolling on Instagram, refreshing it, and then my face popped up as like one of the winners.
Your heart just like dropped in a good way. But, like,
yeah, it was amazing.
That's amazing.
Life changing.
Yeah, it literally was. So yeah, let's just say that wine got drunk.
This might be a tough question to answer. If it wasn't for the Defected competition, where do you think you would be right now?
Yeah, I definitely don't think I'd be where I was today. I think it's given me such a huge platform for people all around the world to see me and be introduced to me. Like the live streams are done for them. Every time I'd post one of them and do like a collab post with them, I used to get like 5,000 followers just from people all around the world, just like seeing me.
Got such a strong brand.
Yeah, it was crazy. But if it wasn't for them, I honestly think I'd still have a job. I'd still be that engineer, and I'd still be playing gigs around the UK, maybe the odd few in Europe.
Not a bad life, but
yeah, but like nowhere near the gigs I'm getting now. Like, yeah,
it's crazy the power they do have. People like that in positions like that. Was it Michael Beebe collabing with
Coachella?
the Dutch artist? He gave him the USB.
Kinnehout?
Yeah.
And like he's from that, he's just gone through the roof. And
Has
there
he?
was
Is he on the Prime Culture roster?
potentially,
Yeah.
and then us too as well. They've shot up because they won the Ants competition last year.
Oh,
So
yeah,
now they're on
they do.
EastEnders. They're everywhere at the moment where you look. So like it's crazy like how much power these brands have to be able to give people a platform.
Yeah, it's crazy. And to be fair, it's so good that these brands give people the opportunity, like competitions. Like
Definitely.
when people message me and they're like, "What's some advice can you give me?" I'm always like, keep your eye out for competitions from different brands, because I feel like even though you may not think you're going to win, and you may not, but at least it'll open like some doors, or people might get introduced to you and like be familiar with your name going forward. So definitely think that's so much help.
It also helps artists getting comfortable in the uncomfortable, because I don't feel like too many people would be comfortable getting on a camera and like recording themselves playing. So I think obviously that on an individual level for an artist is also a huge confidence booster as well.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like, it completely gets your name out there. People always send me mixes as well, and they're like, "Can you listen to this mix and give me feedback?" Which I do try and do. Sometimes
It's tough.
It's
at the
hard.
time, yeah.
But I think people just need to have more faith in themselves. And
Yeah, back
like
yourself.
like you've obviously learned how to DJ. You know what's a good mix and what's not. Like,
yeah, sometimes they're just
back
looking
yourself.
for that validation as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does go a long way though as well.
Definitely.
When someone in a position that you want to be in, like, what's the word?
Gives you that boost.
Gives you like a
Feedback.
little
Yeah,
boost.
validate. Gives you the validation.
Or like if you send a tune out and someone downloads it or something like that, then you feel like it helps with the
You can
imposter
do it,
syndrome as
yeah.
well.
Yeah, to
Definitely.
be fair, I'm the same. Like when I send like promos out to DJs who I love and they actually play them, I'm like, wow.
It's a huge confidence boost.
It's such a good feeling to see it getting played by like some of your favourite DJs.
Makes you feel like you can actually do it. Like,
Yeah.
you deserve to be here.
It's a good feeling.
Just on the producing, how long ago did you get into it, and what was that part of your thinking that you need to do it in order to make a career, or do you want to get into it because it really fascinated you, that side of things?
Yeah, so from like the very beginning when I first started DJing, I always had friends in Liverpool that always was like, you need to start producing because it's the way forward. You're never really going to get anywhere if you've not got tunes to back yourself, which at the start I was like, no, like I can just do the DJing thing. I don't need to do the producing. Like I don't really like it that much. But then as the career goes on, I was like, right, no, you do need the tunes to like back yourself, and that's how you get like far in this industry where people know your tunes and you blow up. Like say Luke Dean with the Lobby tune, like we were just talking about.
Massive tune.
Yeah.
That's essentially, I think, the main reason why he got to Australia is in the Lobby. So many people knew him out here because of that, whereas before that they might not have known him.
Yeah.
He's also got the tunes to back it up, but
Absolutely. But I was just
he's
saying,
got so many tunes.
from a more commercial point of view,
Right,
after
yeah.
that, so many people know he's got a million tunes.
Yeah.
But in terms
Yeah.
of that next step internationally and globally,
Definitely. So I got to that level where I was like, right, need to start. So that was probably about 4 or 5 years ago, where got able and just sort of learnt myself through like different like syntho.
Synthos, we're on Syntho. It's
Yeah,
handy.
It's sick,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Big up Josh Baker.
Yeah. And just different YouTube clips and stuff. But I don't know, I'll go through phases where I love it, but then I go through phases where I hate it
Just
as
get
well.
the shits with it.
Just smash the computer.
Where it's just like nothing is clicking, and I'm just like, oh, I'm shit at this. Like,
Brody's taking the dive next Friday. He's starting.
Next Friday? This Friday?
Oh, this Friday. Yeah,
Yeah,
Brody's
yeah.
starting his producing journey this Friday.
what are you starting?
Hey?
Are you starting? Yeah.
Yeah, I downloaded the trial version of Ableton because these boys have been at it for
I've been
2-3
3
years.
4
Yeah.
4 and a bit. I don't know.
So they're going to, Sean's going to show me the ropes because I opened up Ableton the other night and I had no idea what I was looking at.
It's like learning another language.
Like I got Logic first, and that was more like another language to me. I couldn't even figure anything out. So then I got Ableton, and I feel like you can
So
figure
much
a
better.
few things out with it, but it is still hard. Like I still learn things every day from it. Yeah.
It makes sense once you get your head around it. It makes a lot of sense. But when you don't understand it fully yet, then it's really confusing.
It's daunting.
Once you actually got it, it's like that actually makes a lot of sense how they do that. They're very clever, but when you're learning, it's hard.
And were you making like the minimal stuff and disco stuff first, or?
No, I feel like, to be fair, when I was like started out, I was trying to make that sort of like tech house sound.
Yeah.
And then it was more like lockdown when I got into the more like 90s stuff, and I was like experimenting with making more high energy stuff. But yeah, I feel like at the minute, every producer says this, but like they always hate the songs that they've put out.
Yeah.
But it's just because like you've listened to them that many times. But I'm always like, oh, I can do better than that. So at the minute, I'm sort of having a little break, collecting the tunes I've got that I'm making.
Bank 'em up.
Yeah, and I just want to be like completely sure with them that I love them before I put them out.
Give 'em a good road test.
Yeah, which like probably everybody says you just need to put them out, but I look back at the tunes I've done, and because I've played them that many times, I'm just like, oh, yeah, hate that.
You had some big releases, Microhertz obviously as well, a Dance disc.
Yeah, so Microhertz was my first release. That was on a VA with Get Funky, Get Down.
What was that like? Because obviously for people who like our sort of sound, Microhertz is right up there for being the pinnacle.
Yeah.
Like, what was that like to land that first go?
Crazy, to be fair. Like I didn't think I'd be on Microhertz for my first release. Like no way. So
Hit the jackpot.
yeah. So I hopefully I want to do a VA, not a VA. I want to do an EP with them. Yeah. But yeah, just waiting for the right tracks to come off that they want. And then done 2 EPs now with Danzu discs.
Butts bumping.
Yeah.
That was probably. Do you feel like that was one that probably brought you to the light the most?
Definitely. I feel like that's definitely been
Yeah.
the most popular. Like people are always like coming up to me singing it to me, or they're like holding it on the phone, like please play Butts Bumping.
Are we going to get it on Saturday night?
Probably not, because I fucking hate that. Don't know, maybe, yeah, I know, I will probably. But yeah, because I've played it that much.
Of course.
Yeah. And then, yeah, recently just done another EP with them. That done well, but I think me first one with them done a lot better.
Yeah, they're a sick label. I actually sent them some demos the other week. Haven't heard back yet. So it's a no.
No, I'm sure they will. They're so
Yeah.
good. They've got like so many cool people on at the minute. I think they're sort of going down that like 90s route
Definitely,
now.
that's what I've noticed. I went through their tracks right from the start, which a few years ago, to now, and they've definitely gone that more 90s route.
Yeah, I feel like that as well. But they're always asking me for more tunes, and I'm like, I've done 2 EPs now, and I need to move on.
They want you back.
Yeah, it's like a relationship. Let's move on.
Do you have any dream labels that you'd love to release on? That's a silly question. I'm sure you do, but what are your dream labels that you have?
To be fair, yeah, I've got a lot. I want to release on Shall Not Fade. They're just like a really cool label that I've followed for years. I want to release on Luke Van Dyke's label, Dark Side of the Sun. Microhertz for them. Who else? I'd love to release for Peggy Gill
Yeah.
on her label, because I feel like she's moving into that 90s sound, and I just feel like she's a person that I've looked up to for years. So
I did see something
Will Kiss.
fashion whenever you were stuck for an outfit, you
Yeah. To
see
be
what
fair,
Peggy's wearing?
Yeah, she's like.
She's your inspo, is she?
She's she's my
She's a
inspo
cool
for
woman.
everything really. But outfit, she's always got like cool little 2-pieces on, or just like
Just a
cool.
vibe.
Yeah, she's just a complete vibe. So when I'm stuck, I'm like, what's Peggy going on? I'll have a little look.
Have you
Coffee.
met Peggy?
No, never. I think I'd go to bits.
Get you on the same lineup as
Yeah, that would be the dream, to be fair. Because yeah, she's moving into that lengthy sound, isn't she? I seen her in Circo Loco in Thailand in January just gone, and she was sick. But she's completely not like what she used to play like a few years ago. Don't know if you've seen her recently.
I've never seen her.
Videos of her. She's playing a lot more techier stuff as well.
Yeah, she's playing more like techie, like more energetic, like happy.
Because there's an artist we've got on our next event. He just released on her label. And
really?
I haven't listened to the full track, but the clip I seen was a bit more on like the techier sort of side of things, and he's a more techier sort of artist.
Yeah, boss.
Yeah.
That's a bit of an exclusive there for the watchers.
What? Oh, who's on? Oh, by
Yeah.
the time it's out.
Oh yeah, we'll be announcing next week.
So writer's block. How do you get through that?
So I do it for most tunes really, but I always find like a reference track, like most people
Definitely
probably
helps.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if I've got writer's block, listen to mixes on SoundCloud. I always put them on, and there's always probably like few tunes that stand out that I'm like, wow, I want to make a track
Just
like
spring
that.
the idea as well.
Yeah, because I'm listening to music every weekend. I'm not one that through the week I'll put my AirPods in and listen to music. I sort of don't really listen to music apart from when I'm sorting my music out, which is probably quite weird considering I'm a DJ, but I like sort of, I hate having my AirPods in all the time.
To be honest, I feel like I'm like that a lot now. I'm like a podcast person.
Yeah,
I used to listen
I
to
love
music
a
all the
podcast.
time in the car, and now when I get into the car, I usually put on a podcast.
Yeah, I love a podcast, but when I've got writer's block, put a mix on, and that sort of sorts it out. Use a reference track, try and like copy it or in a way, but change different bits up. That always helps.
It's nice to use a reference just to see if your track's like sounding full enough as well, and if it's hitting the mark like across. You got enough elements and that kind of thing before you go and arrange it as well.
Yeah, I always like using. Do you know the little markers on Ableton where like I use them like say like when they bring their hats in,
Oh,
I'll
and you
put
can
little-
write like breakdown or
it just like really helps with structure as well, because sometimes when I'm stuck in a loop it's hard to then be like, right, how do I make this
How do
into
I
a
get
full
it?
track?
Yeah.
Whereas if I've got the little markers, it's easy.
definitely. On the go on.
No.
On the gig front, you've obviously played some huge gigs. I think was it your first? Would you say proper big one was Tomorrowland 2022?
Yeah,
What was that like?
mad. I literally got asked to play on the week of because
Wow.
I think it was for Glitterbox, so that was a bit more on the disco from, but wasn't going to turn it down.
No, not Tomorrowland. No.
So I think somebody dropped out on the lineup, and then they asked me to play like the week of, so I didn't even have time to even like be nervous for
Yeah.
it. I was just sort of like pack my case, go. I was there playing. And then walking around that festival was crazy.
It's not.
Magic.
It's like, when I was telling you about, we went in 2019, we went to Tomorrowland, and it's just like a whole other world. Like it's
own
insane. Yeah, it's bigger
More
than a
than that, it's a
suburb.
whole-
Yeah.
Greater Sydney,
Yeah.
greater Tomorrowland.
Was it
Did you-
200,000 people or something?
Yeah.
Over the 2 weekends. or
The
something.
production is like next
Oh,
level. I
it's
remember I
crazy.
got to the main stage and I just like broke down in tears because I was just
Wow.
like, this is like so incredible. I can't believe I'm actually playing here at this.
magic.
Yeah.
Did you get to party?
Yeah, we
Was it
stayed
in-
around for
Oh,
that
okay.
day. But I think I'd bigged up playing like so much, and like I had so much like
Adrenaline dump?
adrenaline, and then I got like a banging headache after I played, so we had to cut it short. But
Oh no.
yeah, it was good to like explore and walk around, and the VIP section was unreal.
Ah,
They
that'd
had
be
like
sick.
this massive barbecue with like the best meats. We were just
Oh,
like
fucking
going
hell.
back and helping ourselves.
That's class.
Yeah.
So you played at Warehouse Project as well
Yeah,
for Elro.
yeah.
What was that like?
That was like another standout gig for me. That was like a few months back, and I was obviously buzzing to play for Elro. Got there on the day, and there's 3 stages at Warehouse Project, so we had a little walk around. But my stage that I was playing was a bit of a walk away, so I didn't check that out before I was playing, but checked the other 2 stages out, and they were quite empty, so I was thinking, oh, it's quite early on. I'm probably not going to be playing to many people.
Either way, you're playing it all right.
Yeah, exactly. And then got to my stage, and that's where all the people was. They were like, the stage was filled to the very back. It was chocker. I was I was not expecting it, and my mum and dad couldn't come for that one as well, so it was good for them to see me playing like to a full crowd and just be me while I was playing. I'm playing for them again in Amnesia.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
That's got to be one of the dream gigs, I reckon.
Terrace or the main room?
Yeah, the terrace. I know.
That's insane.
That's this year?
Yeah, that's in June.
When are we?
Oh,
we're July.
Yeah, I asked her in the car.
Just miss it. Damn.
Yeah.
That'll be unreal.
Yeah, that'll be sick. That'll be like bucket list things to play there. Remember going to Amnesia the first time I went to Ibiza like years ago, and yeah, if someone would have told me I was playing, like,
pinch yourself.
Yeah, crazy.
You go.
I think it was a few episodes ago we were trying to work out our dream gig, and Sean and I both said Amnesia Terrace.
Yeah, Amnesia Terrace be.
Really, that's your dream.
I think like there's so many, but I think if I just had to say one, I feel like Amnesia Terrace would just be hard to knock off.
Yeah, to be fair, I feel like Amnesia would probably be up there.
Such an iconic club, and there's so many like iconic events. Like you've got Jamie Jones doing his event there. You've got Elro. Like they're 2 massive events. Yeah.
Yeah, I think High as well. I'm also playing High. That's just been announced.
Is that Patrick Toppings?
Yeah, for Patrick Topping. He's hosting the club room in High this year, so that should be sick. I can't really think what's some other like.
It's hard to think on the spot.
Yeah, because I feel like I've played a lot of the ones I've wanted to tick off. Like a few of the festivals I'm ticking off this year, which have been bucket lists for a while, like Creamfield, Secret Garden Party. Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for them.
What's it like playing in Liverpool?
Yeah, I feel like I don't even want to slag. I don't want to slag Liverpool off, but like I feel like there's better places. I obviously love playing at home. I'm not like gonna slag them off.
Probably because you're so used to it as well.
Yeah, I feel like I've played there. Like obviously when I was like starting off.
You played for Circus with Yusuf.
Yeah, I played for Circus a good few times. They're always good, but I just feel like the crowd in Liverpool, I feel like they're just like very.
Yeah,
Scousers
that makes
sense.
That makes sense at Greenfield.
Yeah, like, Scousers love. So every time I'm playing, there's just not a lot of energy. People are just like zombies. So I can't really get anything back. But obviously I love playing at home. It's always good to play at home, and all my mates can come, and it's sick. But yeah, it's the only thing. Like, lay off the.
There's that Instagram page. I can't remember the name, and like they always like
in pills.
No, they like killed the dance floor.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I can't remember the name, but yeah, like bang against having it on the dance floor.
It's completely killed the dance floor. Yeah, whereas like other cities like London, Leeds, like
the ecstasy.
Yeah, but yeah, they just I don't know. They just like the energy is different. People just go wild. Whereas as well, Liverpool, I think people are just like too cool to let themselves go.
Really?
Like, yeah.
I would have thought London. I thought it would be like that in London, to be honest.
No, there's a few like crazy heads in London that just go for it.
So you were saying as well before, your parents love coming to the shows as well. What's it like having a great support network around you while you're having all these amazing experiences?
Yeah, it's so good, to be fair. They've been supportive from the start. They bought me my first set of decks, laptop, speakers and
Shout
all
out
that.
Mum and Dad.
And they've listened to the racket in my room for years. So the past year, as I'm getting like the bigger gigs, they've been loving coming. Loved always coming to the Defected ones. Recently just come to the Elro one. But they just love like the backstage VIP life with like all the free
few drinks on the rider.
Yeah. They're like, make sure you put wine on the rider, put a champagne on it. I'm like, what do you think this is?
Have you got siblings?
Yeah, I've got a sister, so she also comes to a few gigs, but me and her are just completely different.
Opposite.
Not a raver?
Yeah, no. She's like more of a prin. Like she's like always in heels, going out to like clubs with booths and places like that. She's,
Bottle service and
yeah, she's not really into like the club scene.
it's fair enough. It's not for everyone.
Yeah.
Some can, some can't.
Yeah. So what have you got coming up?
Coming up, the weekend I get back from Oz, I've got Forbidden Forest.
You're saying it's 2 hours outside of Liverpool, was it?
Yeah, 2 hours outside Liverpool. So I've said to my dad, "You're driving to that one because I'm not being jet lagged and driving.
No.
No way." So he's actually made up because he's like, "Yeah, I can come watch you play." Then I've got Ibiza coming up. I've got the Yellow gig in Amnesia.
Will you stay and party for a bit, or just a bit of an in and out job? You've probably been to Ibiza enough now.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna stay for that one, but I'm actually going on my own to that one, so
You'll know plenty of people.
yeah, I'll know
Yeah.
plenty of people. But normally my girlfriend Laura comes to like most of my gigs with me, but yeah, she's sitting that one out, or I don't know, maybe she's always quite last minute.
You'll get it.
On the week, she's like, "Oh, I'm actually coming. I'm looking at the flights, I'm gonna come."
Twist her arm.
Yeah. But I've got a few huge festivals coming up. I've got Beathead, Secret Garden Party, which is one of my favourite festivals ever.
Where is that?
That is down south somewhere. Not too good with me geography, but I know it's down south.
somewhere down south.
Yeah. But that is like it's like a Glastonbury, but like smaller and weirder, and it's just the best time.
You've obviously been as a punter.
Yeah, we've been the past 2 years because it had like a before that it had like a gap for years where it shut down basically, and then they brought it back, and yeah, been the past 2 years, which was so good.
Hide and seek as well.
Hide and seek.
Catch you there.
Can't forget about. Are you going?
Yeah, we're going hide and seek. Yeah, we'll catch you there.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't forget about hide and seek. I'm playing with Gaskin and LP Rhythm.
Yeah.
Fuck.
All back to
The
back.
trio.
Wow.
The tunes will be, yeah.
That's been like the gig that most people have been messaging me about. I feel like everyone is so buzzing for that, which I don't blame them because I am as well. It's going to be sick.
Your set will just be all unreleased tracks between the three of you.
Yeah, there'll be no like track ID.
No Shazam getting around there.
Yeah.
And then so on the release front, have you got anything lined up or planned at the minute? Or are you just trying to bank them up?
Yeah, no, at the minute I've not really got anything. I'm just sort of, like I said before, just like banking the tracks up, making sure that I love them. I'm a perfectionist, you see, so I don't like rushing things. And I feel like some of my last tracks I put out, I don't know, I feel like I've sort of rushed them just to get tracks out. And I listen back or look back and I'm just like, oh, maybe I should have waited on that one, but they're out now. So I just don't want to make them mistakes again. Just want to make sure I'm like 100% certain on them before I do anything. So
Yeah.
You said something before about advice you'd give to someone. I think it was about releasing or when you're starting out. What's one bit of advice you'd give to someone that's looking to make their mark in the scene coming through?
I think what I always tell people is make sure you're being authentic to yourself. It's very easy to get led down different paths in the industry and not be true to yourself. I'd always keep an eye out, like we were speaking about before, for like DJ competitions or any competition, if that, even if it's just like guest list for a DJ's gig, like I'd always put yourself forward for that, because then you're going to network with some of your favourite DJs if you do win, and if you're a DJ yourself, they might remember you if you want to send tracks to them. It's just always like networking, such a huge thing to think of, which when I first started out, I was like out every single weekend trying to just make connections around Liverpool just to get like gigs starting out. But yeah, them top three things really, I'd say, definitely.
And what are some of the goals going forward?
Goals would definitely be to get the balance right, to say, like, I've only been full-time DJ for just over a year, so it's been like such a crazy transition to be like, right, every day I'm focusing on me and music and stuff, which I find hard to get the balance. I need to get my schedule right of being like, right, 9-5, I'm in the studio making tunes. I'm not just sat doing nothing,
watching Netflix
on Instagram, TikTok and stuff. But I really just want to concentrate on my music and making the best tracks I possibly can this year.
And what does your daily routine look like when you're at home?
So I'm sometimes I'm really good and I'm like, right, up at 7 o'clock, I have a nice coffee in the morning.
Do you set an alarm or you
I set an alarm, because if I didn't, I'd be up at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So I get up, have like a nice coffee, just spend like an hour in the morning to chill. And then like before this, I had all this tour to like sort out and looking for hotels and stuff like that. So I had all that to sort out. But normally it'd be getting on my laptop, sorting my tunes out for the weekend, or on Ableton, like cracking on with tracks. And then I like to stop at maybe like 5, then go see my girlfriend, chill in the night. But because of the transition of like, I had a full-time job, it's so hard, because I'm still like sat sometimes at like 11 o'clock at night finding tunes, and I'm like, I should have done that. Why didn't I do that in the day? Yeah. That's like my time to work and then just chill in the night.
I suppose if that works for you though as well.
Yeah.
Like everyone's different, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, like I do find I am more creative in the night. It's like an idea will come to me. Yeah, but then I'm like, oh, I should have just done this in the day, because now I'm like stimulated and I can't sleep. And
you mentioned as well just before you had a podcast as well. Tell us a bit about that. Just my mind has come back to me.
Yeah, so in lockdown I started up a brand called Social Flux, which was getting different guests on for a podcast. So I'd sit down on the couch with them and just chat. And at the time it was obviously in lockdown, so I couldn't really get people who weren't local. So it was all people in Liverpool who have sort of done something for the scene or were really exciting. I sat down with them for an hour and just had a good old chat. I think I'd done about 6 of them, and then lockdown finished and things just started getting busy again, and I just sort of like lost the motivation to do it. But people always say like I should definitely start them more. Well, yeah, I've changed my brand name from Social Flux to Social Pleasure. I want to start my own events up, hopefully, if not this year, next year. I think I'm probably just going to start the podcasts up, get a bit more exciting guests on, because I've made like so many more connections in the scene at the minute.
Pretty much get anyone you want now.
Yeah, it'd just be so much more interesting. Probably going to do that and do events as well, and hopefully start my own label.
Who did you have on as guests? Would there be anyone we know?
It was I don't think you would. It was all like local DJs or local like club owners,
promoters and stuff.
Yeah, like there's a there's a club in Liverpool called 24 Kitchen Street. That's a really famous club, and I had the owner of that on, so I was chatting to him, which was really interesting. But yeah, I would actually love to start it again and get like a lot bigger like names on there.
We look forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
There are actually quite a few what's the word? Quality artists like yourself coming through. You got Lauren, Losung, Sosa, Camel Fat as well. It's fresh to see. All from Liverpool.
Yeah, it's quite a good contingent.
Yeah, Sosa's lovely. Like, I love Jay. And weirdly, actually, his girlfriend, Libby, used to do my makeup years ago.
Really?
Yeah, and we always used to chat, and she always used to be like, oh yeah, my boyfriend's like a DJ. And then he blew up.
He's massive.
It's huge,
yeah. He blew up.
Especially hitting the States as well. He's massive over in the States.
Crazy. And then it's always so crazy that like his girlfriend used to do the eyebrows and makeup and stuff.
Small world.
Yeah. And then like me and him are mates now. So yeah, it's crazy.
And then so for the events and the label, is that you think you want to go that 90s sort of sound?
Yeah, definitely. Nothing like, no plans are like set in stone, but
it's a goal.
Yeah, it's a goal for the future. I don't want to rush into it, because at the minute in the UK, like the club scene is just so hard. So I don't want to rush into anything, and I just want to make sure it's right and that I've got a following behind me first, so when I do my events,
hit the ground running.
Exactly, yeah. Because Bass Jams, like Gaskin has smashed it with his bass.
Finished their tour.
Yeah, so he's doing so well. So when I start mine off, I sort of want to like follow in the footsteps.
Bit of a blueprint.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, sick.
Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
We'll see you this weekend,
Pleasure.
Switch.
Yes.
Yeah, see you there.
Thank you.